bad for you. I feel bad for you because you're being held hostage in some basement somewhere.
Aaron, are you okay? Are you okay, Aaron?
Surrounded by recorders.
Blink twice if you need help.
Okay, that's a little bit better. Now you're a silhouette.
No, it's not better. I can hear it. I can hear
Through all the
recorders.
Is that the sound of the bottomless pit?
Yeah.
It's a siren. It's a Starbucks siren.
Will Galkin once told me, he said, I'm theologically convinced that we'll see organs in hell.
He wasn't talking about the bodily part.
Yeah, not hearts and
like
lungs.
the instrument. He didn't mean like he was going to be there, but well, I remember. So I'm going to have to edit that out right away, right? Or can I leave that one in there?
Follow-up questions.
I just remember someone telling me that they didn't believe we should have instruments in our church services that you have to plug in. To which I said, "Great, let's get rid of the organ." Because you got to plug it in, man.
So bagpipes are okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Can't plug those in.
Yeah. Well, we are beginning now this fifth episode. 5 episodes, guys. Congratulations.
2 of which they've never seen.
That's right.
No.
We're holding out for more money to release those first 2 episodes.
Yeah, those things are gold.
Yeah, so 5th episode of French Toast Night brings just the 3 of us faithful men who I guess Aaron and I are the only ones who've been here for all 5. Is that correct?
Yeah, faithful men have gone before us.
You guys need to get a life.
We just really like French toast. What can we say?
Speaking of life, no. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and I do want to let our listeners know that we have submitted our podcast to iTunes for review, and so I started this process, and I didn't realize this, but apparently there are live people who listen to every potential iTunes podcast,
as opposed to dead people.
Right.
Okay.
Those fictitious people.
Oh, I see.
So here I thought it'd be a simple like iTunes form. You just submit and make sure your RSS feed works. No, there's actually people that review it and I guess determine that it's worthy. So that's kind of cool.
Let me guess. They gave you some feedback that said it should be shorter and it'd be better if it was in a podcast, not a video. So
yeah. So I want to just say thank you to those people who are reviewing this right now.
Oh, thank you.
I would have worked something different if I'd known they were going to be watching.
Yeah, be nice to them. Mr. and Mrs. iTunes. Yeah. All right. First question for us today. This is a quick, fun question. Hopefully it'll be fun. Today on the calendar is Friday. Although, no, wait, it's Thursday. In some parts of the world, it's Friday.
It's a great start.
Yeah. You can tell my brain is in it. In the Twitter sphere, the Twitter arena, they have this thing called Follow Friday. I think they still do it. Maybe they did it like a couple of years ago, which in social media time is like 2 decades ago. But anyway, I want to know what's a good follow you guys would recommend that maybe would be lesser known for most of our listeners, just whether it's fun or virtual. What's a good follow that you recommend, Paul?
Good. I think a little bit of a combination, fun, political, and spiritual at times. The Nebraska senator, Senator Ben Sass.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
I'm writing this down.
I can tell. I hear it. But he is. First of all, he's a theologian, and he's a U.S. senator. So he's involved in politics, and I love, on a personal level, I love the way that he thinks. I love the way that he communicates and works through issues. And I really enjoy his feed. Sometimes he's very personal and shares family stuff, and it's very funny. And then other times on more serious topics, he's very constitutional, but he seems to be very biblically based.
And he has been known to retweet one of us.
One of us has been retweeted, and that one of us is not me. So yes, I was stunned one day when he retweeted Kevin. That was pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got retweeted by Ben's Sass.
Yes, he did. Sass.
Wow.
Sass.
I mean, I call him B-Dog, but that's just he and I. You know, it's just.
No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron? Twitter follow?
Kevin, I think I need to correct your grammar.
It wouldn't be the first time.
You said that's just he and I. I'm pretty sure that's an objective case where you need to say that's just.
So technically,
This
is so awkward.
Okay, because the being verb, are you going to go? Is that what?
oh yeah,
Okay.
is
Okay.
and just is a modifier of he and I. So that is a linking verb. So it has to be followed by. We just lost all 2 listeners we've had.
No. They're loving this.
I'm just going to keep watching the Masters while you guys diagram that sentence. I'm just going to keep watching the Masters here.
That is just he and I.
Anyway,
but that doesn't make any sense. That is just.
I'd have to think
because
about
that's there's still some subject verb agreements on the plural and singular.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it. And this is
Okay,
gonna be really
we'll get back
awkward.
to that.
This is gonna be really awkward because the Twitter follow I was gonna recommend is a Twitter handle named. It's
Not
really
grammar.
awkward. It is. It's HB Fowler Style is what it's called, and it's a style/grammar person. I don't know if it's guy, girl, but they do it in a nice way. They're not snarky about it, although I appreciate those snarky grammar corrections as well. But it's just really educational and helpful. So it's really awkward that I use bad grammar when I recommend them.
Maybe you did.
There you go.
I'm still figuring this out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Just first thing, I would go to Brandon McAllister's Twitter feed and look at who he follows, and then follow all those people.
That's
Maybe not all of them, but there's some cool ones. There's one that he'll retweet some every once in a while. There's one called Progress of Year or something like that.
Yeah.
You'll see it if you look at my Twitter feed at J Aaron Boyce. You'll see that I retweet that every once in a while. So, for instance, we just already hit a quarter of the year. 25. It gives you like a kind of a bar, and it's a very simple picture of just like how far into the year we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we're already a quarter of the way past this year of 2017, which is unbelievable to me that we're even that far along. But yeah, it's like yearly progress or year progress, something like that. But I follow them, and then Brandon McAllister follows them. So
nice.
That's kind of a cool one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good. All right. Serious topic for us to discuss today, which is either Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure.
It's always Wednesday. It's always Wednesday in my heart.
It always is Wednesday.
For our Eastern Asian listeners.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm going to paint a scenario that I think we all have been witness to, and then I'm going to use that to lead us into a topic. So the scenario is this. I currently am employed as a pastor, and I'm very thankful for that. Paul, I know you are as well.
I'm thankful you're employed as a pastor, yes.
Yes. And we feel it's a privilege and even a calling, more than an occupation, but we're thankful for all those things. So I find myself quite frequently in settings where the majority of people there are believers, at least professing believers. It's not like a church-run event. So it's not a worship service. It's not even, a church fellowship. And I would say 80 to 90% of the time, assuming there's no other pastor there, I am asked to pray. I'm asked to lead in prayer. Now, before I became a vocational pastor, when I would be in events like that, I was seldom asked to pray. And my question is, and this kind of leads to this bigger topic of just the view of the pastorate in Christian circles right now, but I guess I'm confused as to why, if a pastor is there, then he should be or he needs to be the one to take everyone before the throne of grace in prayer. Now, obviously, we assume and we hope that everyone's praying in their mind, but the pastor is there to lead in prayer. I've also been in situations where there's been no pastor there, but people will look for the highest ranking Christian. So like this, I'm not kidding. I've been in these, so-and-so is studying for the ministry, or so-and-so is a Bible major. And so we're going to ask him. And sometimes they'll even verbalize it like that, hey, Joe, you're a youth ministries major. Would you please lead us in prayer? And I want to commend the good intentions in those situations. And yet I also sometimes wonder if we're just perpetuating a notion of pastoral ministry that might not be helpful. Aaron, do you have any thoughts as you're a pastoral assistant, but
Yeah,
I was going to say you're a
yeah.
non-pastor, but you are. But yeah,
No,
do you
yeah,
have any thought?
I'm not a pastor. I'm not on staff. I am a pastoral intern, and so,
We're all
but
ministers.
even
We're all ministers, so it's okay.
that's not true.
Yes. Just on Sundays.
I'm usually though even when I'm around my pastors, I'm usually the highest ranking spiritual person in that context, and so usually
And you know
I'm
it
called
too,
out.
which
Yeah,
is helpful.
like, Aaron, would you please pray for us? That my pastors usually ask. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think so
you've experienced this. It's not
yeah,
just
oh totally. And if it's me and friends, and as the pastoral intern in our church context, most people will just assume that the pastoral intern guy is going to do it. I've asked people. This is what you should do. I try to control the prayer scenario because I just know it's going to be awkward if people make the who's going to pray thing so awkward. I don't think you have to pray before a meal, but if you're going to do it and you know the vibe of your people that you're around, then I usually am taking the control of calling on somebody to pray. That is not necessarily me. Okay, if I'm the highest ranking, which is horrible, there's no such thing. But if that's the general mindset, then I want to outsource that as quickly as possible to somebody else. So I usually find the least spiritual person in that context. I'm like,
that's why you always ask me to pray when we're together.
Like, hey, so and so, you don't really know God that much. Why don't you pray for us? So I just totally flip the thing, and they feel awkward, and they're like, "Oh, I need to learn." Like in text, the community group that I lead, I love to call on or to ask other people to kind of squelch that idea because, for one, they need to be praying, and then, they need to see, I think, the leader of that group try to outsource that as much as he can. So,
yeah.
But if there's a pastor, an older pastor, I think it's a sign of reverence, not of. Yeah, a sign of the respect for somebody to ask or to expect that they would pray, and not take the lead on that all the time. So
yeah, so I'll interject with a kind of a quasi question, and then Paul can riff. But like, so how can we, commend the good intentions of people that have respect and appreciate their pastors, which I think is super sweet, and I'm so thankful for our church. They have so much respect and they're so kind to us. How can we commend that while making sure we're not crossing the line into the pastor as idol and all these things? Paul, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a natural thing that people would think that or default to that in that setting. I think it'd be similar to if you were at a party or gathering and somebody went out to leave and their car something was wrong with the car. They kind of come into the room and naturally go to the person who's most mechanical or whose dad owns a garage, maybe in the Charleston, South Carolina area. You go to that person, and I think when it comes time to that, I think it's just the default setting. I agree with what you're saying. It does happen. It happens a lot. If I can, like Aaron said, I like to take control of that and then find someone else to pray. Say, hey, would you mind praying for us when it's time? I typically try to pray. I typically try to ask the person who's going to be the most uncomfortable praying. That way I know the prayer will be short. And
that's good.
And we get to eating. But I'm probably more intrigued. I'm more intrigued with Aaron's comment earlier that we don't need to pray before we eat. That when you said this was going to be a serious topic, it really wasn't serious until he said that.
Yeah.
And now it's on.
Yeah.
I don't think that we need to feel the pressure of having to pray, as something that's rote before every time we eat.
Sure, if you're embarrassed about it, then don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys,
I agree.
guys.
I agree with you. I agree.
No. We should be praying before, during, and after we eat because we should be praying without ceasing, gentlemen.
Maybe we're eating.
When I'm the most thankful, when I'm like that first bite. That's when I'm like actually praying the most. Usually, it's like thank you. This is great.
Right. No, I have been part of settings where we've prayed after the meal, and I do find often, again, not a rule, but often you are more thankful and you're willing to spend a little bit more time giving thanks because you're not as hungry and the food isn't right under your nostrils, wafting into your olfactory glands, just begging you to take a bite. And you actually are able to focus, like, that was a really good cheeseburger, or or whatever. And it's,
Well, it does give you, I think it gives you a clearer conscience to pray if you do it afterwards as well. From a standpoint of the old Tim Hawkins skit of asking the Lord to bless this to our bodies before you're eating Five Guys, or before you're about to eat the triple decker burrito from Taco Bell. I mean, is that really provoking God to wrath? I don't, I don't know. We're asking him to violate who he is, and how could he bless that? So, in other words, we could just be thankful for what we had to eat afterwards.
And ask for forgiveness for gluttony if we need to.
And for protection for what it's going to do inside of us.
Change the molecular structure.
That's it. This Cheeto.
Yes. Hey, thanks for your thoughts. That's helpful. I'm gonna preach on this on Sunday morning.
It's worthy of being preached on. Yes.
Yeah. Not at all.
Or is it preached upon?
Oh, preached upon.
Preached unto. I don't know.
Good.
I'll tweet at HB Fowler style and ask him. Let us know.
Perfect.
Hey, gentlemen, we are in the midst of a fun season, and I'm not talking just about spring. And I am also talking about Palm Sunday and Easter, but in a less serious sphere, we're in a fun season of sports right now. Now, obviously, the football is behind us and in some ways in front of us, but we just finished March Madness. We are beginning the golf season with the Masters. We got NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs coming up. Spring training is ended, and now we're into the first week of baseball. But more than that, we've culminated our serial madness bracket. So really, the sports world is just
who won?
Teaming.
Just amazing. Yeah, teaming. I think the votes are still being counted.
Oh, good.
In other words, we didn't get any votes. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, by saying votes are being counted, I mean we'd love to have your vote.
Yay! Watch the previous app and vote.
The polls are still open. I see.
That's right. That's right.
You can comment in the comment section if we've given you the link. So
yes.
Okay, so here's the question as far as sports, vis-a-vis sports. What is the most memorable / enjoyable / awesome sporting event you've ever been a part of live? Even if you were like an athlete or a coach in it, that's fine. Best sporting event you were a part of live. And then I also want you to think about what's a sporting event you'd like to be a part of that you never have been a part of, quote unquote, your sporting bucket list. All right. So I'll start just because I hardly ever start these things. Best sporting event I've ever experienced. It's a tie, but I'm going to give this one right now. I got to go to a U.S. World Cup soccer qualifier in Nashville, and this would have been they were trying to qualify for the 2008 World Cup, I believe, if my math is correct.
Very good.
And it was just really neat. We had really good seats. They played Honduras. They won, and for a lifelong soccer fan and player, it just really, really was neat. My favorite memory of that game was that Landon Donovan had like a small ankle sprain or something during the second half, so they subbed him out, and he went to the locker room. There's 20 minutes left or something, and our seats were near the player's entrance, and so I ran over to lean over the railing as he's walking underneath, and I think 2008 was in Germany, if I'm correct. Okay. And so I yelled at Landon. I said, "Landon, go get him in Germany!" And he looked up at me and kind of nodded and pointed, and that was really cool.
Oh man, very good.
Yeah.
Where did they play in Nashville? Where did they play that?
It was the
Titan Stadium.
Titan Stadium. Okay. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it.
Did the sprinklers come on during the game at all? Or?
That's right.
Okay, I knew you'd remember that, Paul.
There was something where sprinklers came on. I think, was it a family night?
It was Titans a family night. Movie night. Yeah. And all
the Titans fans come onto the field. And
That's right.
They showed a children's movie up on the big Jumbotron. And during that, the timer kicked on and baptized all of them. Well, sprinkled them.
Yes. Aaron, what was your best sporting event?
What's your bucket list? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. So I'm hoping, and we have plans already in the works to make this happen this coming November. But I want to go to a Michigan-Ohio State football game at the Big House. So they're playing at the Big House this November. All of my brothers are coming back into town for Thanksgiving this year. And so we are already making plans to fork out the many, many dollars it will be. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for all the Moses boys to be able to go to a Michigan-Ohio State game at the Big House. So hopefully it'll happen this year.
Very good.
Paul, while I give my answer, I'm just going to have the screen on you the entire time as you're watching the Masters, just to see how engaged you are in what I'm saying.
Oh, that's awesome, Aaron.
I've been secretly.
This is like camp office meetings when Aaron would talk.
I'm Brother Steve.
Yes.
I'm Brother Steve, and I have the World Cup on. So go ahead.
Yeah, Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, great. The event probably the most important or the biggest event I've been to is the NBA All-Star Game in 2008 down in Louisiana, which they always have them, it seems like, down in
Sin City.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah, thank you. So down in New Orleans, got to go with my dad and my youth pastor and stuff. We had some free tickets to the whole event, so we went to like the dunk contest and the rookie challenge and things like that. And then I purposely dressed up in like a suit jacket, or it was like a corduroy suit jacket. It looked pretty nice, so that I could just walk down on the court after it was done and make it look like I was supposed to be there. And so in the process, I got Steve Nash's autograph. I got the Admiral's autograph. He wasn't playing in it, but he was there for some of the events. What's his name? Robinson. I forget his first name.
David
Robinson. Thank you. David Robinson. He put some Jeremiah verse on the hat that I had. Steve Nash was holding his daughter. I was like, so I kind of held the hat for him to be able to sign it. He's like, yeah, sure. He signed it. And so it was kind of cool because Mark Cuban was like, I don't know, just up those rows, and families tend to wait behind around the court for the players to come out afterwards. And that's where I got to see several guys down there. It was pretty cool. So,
and would this have been a
picture? Yeah.
Would this have been back when the athletes actually tried to play? Like during
I don't
the
think they
All-Star
tried.
game?
No,
Okay.
it was run of the mill.
Okay.
It was. And then I saw Stephen A. Smith at an ATM as I was leaving, grabbing a wad of cash from this ATM. He couldn't care less that I was there, but I got a picture with him. It was kind of cool. So,
wow.
Sporting event I'd like to do. I'd really love to go to England and go to White Hart Lane once it's remodeled to see Tottenham Hotspur play one of the other big five.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it would be. Maybe probably Arsenal, because that's kind of their rivals, the North London derby. So yeah.
Boy, big rally yesterday for the Spurs.
Yeah, that was impressive.
That would have been devastating for them.
If Chelsea had lost again, which I was hoping for.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah, okay. Not
Yeah,
against
thanks.
Man City.
That's cute.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, 7 points behind. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and before yesterday, you guys were 7 points behind. So yeah, in good shape.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Let's see. For me, I think my favorite sporting event was attending the Masters. I've gotten to go to the Masters a few times. Gotten to go to practice rounds and gone to tournament rounds, and I think that's just the most enjoyable thing I've ever done. I've been to Final Fours, I've been to championship games, I've been to NFL playoffs, NBA playoffs, and
you've been
all
to
those things.
You've been to final scoring.
I've been to final scoring at Northland Camp and Conference Centers.
That's true.
Yeah.
In the White Chapel, and but that I've been to PGA championships, I've been to U.S. Opens as well, but there's nothing like that. That the venue as well as the competition is just something special, and it's just a neat place with very knowledgeable fans and tons of tradition, and so it's a neat thing. Especially if you enjoy golf, it's really a special place. Which brings me to my bucket list. Man, I kind of have a tie. One of them is a World Cup final. I'd love to go to a World Cup final, and then the other would be a Ryder Cup to see the competition. Which I was actually thinking about it. The most interesting thing maybe about the Ryder Cup is is it's just not a symmetrical competition at all. It's a country versus a continent. When you think about World Cups and such, it's all, it's easy. It's countries or whatever, but this is a country versus a continent. So, but ironically, they both started about the same time. I think in the late 1920s or something like that. But I'd love to go to one of those, if not both of those, at some point.
Wait, the continent started in about the 1920s?
Yes. It's really interesting. Columbus is a lot younger than we think.
Aaron, you're a fourth grade teacher, is that right?
Fifth this year,
fifth. Okay. So, and I'm not saying this to insult the Capitol Hill Academy, but how many fifth graders, if I were to ask them, is the United States basically would they understand that the continent of North America includes more than the United States?
Yeah, I think they would. Yeah, at this point.
Okay, good.
They do have a geography teacher, and I'm not her, although I would enjoy it. I do like geography, but yeah, they would understand that.
You also are not she, but I digress.
Nope.
Okay.
Or Sheila.
Okay. All right. It's
HB Fowler. HB Fowler.
Yeah. I am not she.
The whole continent country thing, like, there's probably a significant percentage of even Americans who would think that the U.S. is a continent. Like, right? That's North America. It's synonymous, which is sad.
I have no idea how Europe is a continent, by the way. That has never made sense to me. But anyway, it's not like on its own. It's connected to like two other continents. It doesn't make sense.
Is there a way we could appeal that?
Yeah. Well, they need to like dig trenches or something.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
Can we just do a Facebook poll and get it changed?
Yeah. Oh, Facebook. That's how you get anything done today. You're really mad about something. Don't offer any solutions, but give your opinion on the matter so that change will happen.
Yeah. And if you use enough hashtags, then you have impacted the world for good. Hello? French Toast Night podcast.
Should I take this call?
All right, we have our first caller.
Capitol Hill Academy. This is Aaron.
This is awesome.
Please be the iTunes.
Oh yeah, the doors are still open, both sides.
Are they watching live right now?
Yeah, that was definitely not that. So, that was cool.
I thought it was the iTunes reviewers.
My principal's husband.
Oh, good for him. Hey, we have a sponsor this week, like we do most weeks. Yeah. So before I give us our final topic and we sign off, I do want to thank our sponsor this week, sponsor Ted Jones. Theodore Jones. Most often brought groups from Mottville Bible Church. I think Mottville Bible.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, Mottville Bible. But I believe he currently resides outside of Grand Rapids or Lansing.
Yes.
That was a question.
I don't know.
South of Grand Rapids.
Absolutely.
Okay.
South of Grand Rapids. Jamestown, something like that?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so Ted Jones. I was always glad to spend time with Ted.
Yeah. Good guy.
TED Talks.
Good guy. Yeah, that's right. Ted sponsors us, and then he also sponsors TED Talks.
Amen.
Yeah. All right, last question. We all, the three of us, as well as our two co-hosts that could not be with us, Nate and Rob, we all spent many years at Northland Camp, primarily, and we got to go around the property there quite extensively, and we all probably have our favorite spots on campus. So I'm going to ask us to give our most beautiful spot on campus. You got to take into consideration, like, every time of year. Now, if you want to pinpoint it, like, this spot in September or whatever, that's fine. But we got to decide which of our most beautiful spots is actually the most beautiful. Yeah. So Aaron, since you're not a pastor, you go first. Since you're the least spiritual.
Am I praying right now?
Then Kevin, would you pray for us?
Okay, my most, wow, I don't know if people are going to know quite where this is, so I'll do my best. In the back, what do we call it? The back 9 or the back 90 or something like that?
Gehenna?
Anyway, no, past, okay, so you're going past Reflection Lake. No offense, Paul, but I know you're going to pick that. So on the if you go down the normal way to Reflection Lake, you go around it and you go toward the back corner where it has the outlet and goes into a stream. Well, that stream ends up going into the Pike River, right?
Right.
And you can follow that around. There's this specific spot though with a path that follows with that stream that goes to the Pike River. The stream is on your right. There's a spot where you can go down, and there's kind of a bend there where it's a lot closer to the path, and there's a place where you can kind of just chill there where the stream sort of goes around you. And I think in the fall it was really nice. During the spring it would be sometimes too grassy, but I would go there sometimes to just think and stuff, and that was a cool spot. So it was an extension of Reflection Lake.
I know the exact spot.
Reflection Stream.
Yeah, I do too.
I know the spot.
Okay, very good.
And I think if you had a hammock, you could stretch it across 2 trees across the little.
You could.
River. Yeah.
I never did that.
Neither did I. I wasn't cool like those hammock people.
Give my
That's right. Okay. Paul?
Well, I think Reflection is just a given. I mean, you can't. So I feel like we should be picking the second most beautiful spot.
I think you mean the altar of the Whitechapel is the most beautiful spot.
Well, for sure.
Do we have enough?
My kitchen on Wednesday nights was the most beautiful.
I was going to say that. You took mine.
Edit that out. Just edit it out.
Duplex 4 kitchen at midnight.
No. My favorite spot besides Reflection, anywhere around Reflection, was what we called the Prayer Hill, out behind the Pooper Dome there, on that back place, and you can't tell. It's a view from the Prayer Hill looking to the east. That hill was kind of over there, close to that road that Rob lived on. Was that Twin Lakes Road? That's Barnes Lake Road. I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
It was Lily Lake Road.
Lily Lake, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of closer to Lily Lake than it is to any of the other roads. So just loved going up there. We went up there when we first moved there, and our house was not selling in Atlanta. That's where we would go and pray for a house to sell. And it just became a special place. And then the boys, I would take them up there, and they would build forts up there and play up there when they were in their youth. And then it was just a great place to go and just sit. If you're up there at the right times, you'd see the deer walking the trails down below, and occasionally spotted a bear from way up there, several hundred yards away. But just a gorgeous view. We loved it, and a favorite place.
That's good. Yeah, so obviously Reflection Lake, specifically for me, the footbridge. If you stand on the footbridge and kind of look toward the lake comes to like a V as it narrows down to that stream that Aaron mentioned. And I just thought that was really beautiful. I thought it was more beautiful than the normal Reflection Lake beachfront area that we think of.
Blasphemy.
But since we can't say Reflection Lake, and since we can't say Duplex 4 kitchen, so my third most beautiful spot on campus.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, Paul. Right there. Third most beautiful was actually across the road, Twin Lake, but past Twin Lake. So there's some forests back in there, and there's a spot where you can access the lake kind of as you're still in the forest. So it's beyond the Twin Lake dock.
Yes.
Back in there. Yeah, and it was just really, really beautiful. And so that's my third most beautiful.
See, I like the PV deck there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron. Put that back up. I didn't get to see that.
Oh no! That was just the last picture I took of Reflection Lake. I'm pretty sure right here from the other side.
Yep.
Keep
going. The PV deck, looking back towards Camp Lake and mini golf and all that. Sometimes the right times of day when that was a beautiful spot as well. But a lot to choose from. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, just like there's a lot to choose from here in our French Toast Night podcasts, now we have 3 episodes for you to choose from, and we have 2 cereals for you to choose from.
Oh,
so
yes.
You guys see how I segued into that?
That was beautiful. Masterfully done.
I'll pull up the bracket real quick and we'll be done. Let's see here. Share screen. Share. Can you guys see this?
There you go.
I know we're down to a championship game that's sponsored by Cinnamon. I know that.
Cinnamon Life and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yes.
You can't spell sin without. Never mind. Okay. All right. Cinnamon Life versus Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yep.
That's right.
So vote in the comment section of the of that previous podcast 4. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
And subscribe to it so you don't have to wait for the.
Yeah, we have like 19 subscribers now. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. Keep subscribing, guys. That's
I
cool.
probably should subscribe. That'd be great.
What I really want to know is, do we have more subscribers to our YouTube vidcast that's not even a podcast yet than Nate does to his podcast? It actually is a podcast.
That's why Nate couldn't be with us today. He's actually recording. So
that's not
At least
true.
in closing prayer.
Nate, we miss you. Rob, we miss you too.
yeah,
You know, I was thinking maybe they could do their own, like just Nate and Rob one night, like
Oh my word.
as a supplement, and then I'll take about 5 weeks to edit that, and then we can show it to our audience.
Dude, that would be so funny. That would be so funny.
I would enjoy
So
that.
oh man.
All right, it's been fun.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right.
Peace out.
Next time.